For my final video essay, I am going to be examining the Palazzo Strozzi as a gendered space, both in the past and the present. The Palazzo Strozzi is located in the historic center of Florence, housing multiple art exhibits a year. The Palazzo Strozzi began to be built in 1489 for the Strozzi family, an aristocratic family in Florence, and the rivals of the Medici family. The palace was built to assert their dominance and display their wealth and status in the most desired location of Florence at the time. The construction was completed in 1538, and in the same year, the palace was confiscated by a member of the Medici family, not returning to the Strozzi family until about 30 years later. Palazzo Strozzi remained in the Strozzi family until 1937, when it then became occupied by the INA Assitalia, an Italian monopoly of life insurance. The Palazzo Strozzi was then granted ownership to the Italian state in 1999 and has since been the home to the Institute of the Humanist Studies and to the Palazzo Strozzi Foundation. Today, the palace is used for fashion shows, cultural events, art exhibitions, and other international expositions. In the past, the Palazzo Strozzi was a gendered space in various ways. Starting with the exterior architecture, the Palazzo Strozzi was built with masculine features. The grand exterior of the palace portrayed masculine ideals of strength, power, and status. The palace was meant to convey the dominance and prestige of the Strozzi family, particularly the male head of the family, Filippo Strozzi, who began the build of the palace in the late 1400s after his return to the city of Florence. In addition to this, the Palazzo Strozzi was designed how most other palaces were at the time, being gendered segregated spaces. The home was constructed based on established gender and social roles. The ground floor, which is most accessible to the public and where guests entered the palace, was associated with male roles and activities. These included hosting and greeting guests, business deals, political affairs, and public meetings. The main and upper floors, which are far less visible and noticeable in the palace, were associated with female roles both socially and internally. These floors were mainly for domestic work, where the family ate and lived their lives. The upper floors of the palace were meant for the women in the family to take care of their family members and engage in their established domestic responsibilities, such as cooking, cleaning, and raising the children. The upper floors were much more private than the ground level floor, furthering the segregation of women's presence to the public. While the Palazzo Strozzi was once a gendered space in both the physical layout and social functions that mainly disincluded and discriminated against women, the space is now an inclusive and uplifting place for women. In the present, the Palazzo Strozzi has become home to many fashion shows, art exhibitions, and more that uplift and empower women and femininity. Right now, one of the art exhibitions includes Time for Women, which celebrates the 20th anniversary of the Max Mara Art Prize for Women, a significant award that is dedicated to supporting female-identifying artists. The exhibition presents the artwork of the 9 female artists who have won the prize since it began in 2005. Located in the Strozzina's Gallery at the Palace, it pays tribute to decades of artistic innovation and female creativity. The art varies from paintings, videos, sculptures, and installations and reflects on themes such as identity, memory, the body, society, and politics, all from the perspective of women. In addition to this, the Palazzo Strozzi currently houses the exhibition Sex and Solitude by Tracey Emin. Sex and Solitude consists of over 60 historical and new artworks exploring 2 core aspects of Emin's research, the body and sexuality, as well as solitude and vulnerability. The art consists of paintings, sculptures, drawings, videos, embroidery, and photography, and addresses the core themes with a direct and explicit approach. The art transforms Emin's personal experiences as a woman into existential metaphors. Emin's art and use of language in her art portray a powerful balance between monumentality and intimacy, while touching on real and vulnerable topics of being a woman that are often viewed as taboo. Emin created an intimate exploration of the self as a powerful interplay between art and life, while showing the fragility and intensity of the human condition. A palace that was once a gender-segregated and oppressive place has now become a hotspot for feminism, inclusivity, and creating conversation on gender and gender roles. This all ties into the subjects we have discussed throughout the semester, the perspective and roles of women and how they have progressed throughout time in Italy. Thank you.